Welcome back, everybody, here to the ROG Masters. I'm Toby1 here with Gareth as we go into our final game of the China qualifier for the ROG Masters. It's perfect hand positioning.
Well done, Toby.
Well, back and forward movement.
It's the final game.
Welcome to The Price is Right.
We're nearly finished.
Almost.
I'm going to miss you.
Almost. Screw it. I'm going.
We have to see each other in the office every day anyway.
I'm leaving the country tomorrow anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Oh, right.
And you leave the country in 4 days' time. Ah! But don't worry, we're all dead casters with no career.
Rip.
So LYG Gaming going up against EHOME.X. This is our final game of the day and final game of all of the qualifiers. They are our final team. I couldn't say final more in that sentence. To qualify remaining for the LAN finals. Oh, I could. There's another one. Just slipped it right in there.
5 seconds remaining.
Da 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 da.
I'm sorry. How'd you get to?
What's the name of the song?
I don't know. Rocky.
It's the final countdown, Toby.
Okay, yeah, it actually wasn't Rocky. I'm not having a good day with music, all right? Normally, I'm pretty good with that
See,
stuff.
I was so sure you'd get that and you'd be like, hey, final! And I'm just staring at you going, oh my god, Toby, please don't leave me hanging like this.
I didn't get it. I didn't get it.
Even the production guy was just instantly like, final countdown.
I wasn't smart enough. I'm
it's
sorry.
Fine, don't worry. I'm glad SD is being banned in this game.
10 seconds remaining.
None of that bollocks anymore.
None of the SD Luna forever combo, which just gets thrown out.
I'm enjoying this Batrider versus Nyx kind of gameplay, though.
You mean enjoy the Batrider gets owned?
Yeah.
So hard. Like, even now with the Batrider going up against a Juggernaut, like the Juggernaut can spin out, potentially Omni Slash before the Batrider can engage, like depending on the reflexes of the Juggernaut. So there's two great pickups up against the first pick of eHome.
Bat's such a weird hero now.
Dire team
It kind of feels like what happened to Darkseer before, where it used to be, right, Batrider's great at sort of pressuring safe lanes, you can always farm back in the jungle if you need to, but now it just all feels so like timid and slow with the way that sort of defensive tri-lanes have worked out, with the way that supports kind of sit in the jungle a little bit and you're not sure where they're hiding.
Yep.
And the fact that Batrider doesn't go for an Iron Talon. So
A non-Iron Talon. He doesn't have to
non-Iron Talon off-laner.
He just needs to have level 3 or normally 4, and he can farm anything he wants to anyway. It's just not that easy, cheap farm you can get. Run up, grab one camp, get yourself an easy half level and money. What's tripping you? The Ursa?
Yeah.
Why ban an Ursa?
Yeah.
Maybe eHOME.X ran it during the qualifiers earlier on.
That's what I'm assuming as well.
But it's kind of funny to run, like, to ban an Ursa. Like, this isn't Team Liquid. That would be like the one and only team which comes to my mind when I think of a Radiant Ursa, because that would have been a Radiant Ursa. What else are they thinking? Like, what does Ursa counter normally?
I'm just wondering if it's the kind of combination between Ghost Ship and Ursa's ulti. The fact that he will literally take no damage for an extended period of time.
Yeah.
And Juggernaut is quite heavily reliant on finding one target and killing them with Omni Slash, preferably a core hero, and that means Ursa is like out the window. That's like one thought process, but very rarely a hero is picked or banned because of one singular reason.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of...
That's what I'm trying to think of the heroes that LYG are looking to pick up themselves, that the Ursa would just shred apart.
That's the thing, like, Lifestealer is the classic one, right?
Well, Lifestealer would combine with the Nyx Assassin, but you're already running a Juggernaut.
Yeah.
So unless you're going to push the Nyx Assassin into a 4-5 roll, or
you could
4
do
roll.
Nyx off lane, Jug mid, Lifestealer safe lane if you really want to, but then you've got 3 melee cores.
Yeah, and you're still seeing
against
like
a Bat and a Kunkka, which is not good. And they ban... Yeah, okay, I give up, actually. That
So logic dictates that they wouldn't ban a Lifestealer, unless they're just like, hey, you know what? We just banned the counter to Lifestealer, and they're still looking for a 1 roll.
I guess
maybe they go for a Lifestealer after we ban the counter.
I guess Ursa is still very good against Juggernaut, right? Like Ursa counters Lifestealer in the same way as it counters Juggernaut. You just jump on them and you get the Fury swipes in.
Yeah.
Because you can't dispel them with Blade Fury or anything.
True, but at the same time, Juggernaut still has escape mechanisms, and
I just think it's heroes that they don't want to destroy the Juggernaut.
10 seconds remaining.
I don't think there's any massive reason outside of that,
5
actually.
seconds remaining.
Like, what else deals with the Juggernaut? If he's on
Legion
safe lane, he does
Commander.
well against the Batrider, and there's another Legion.
Radiant team pick.
Stands ready.
Dire team pick.
I mean, Sven does very well against Juggernaut.
Yeah. It's that big damage. You know that with a Sven, like if you can get like that Echo Saber up, you get like even a decent amount of crit, you can just take away half of the life, if not 3/4 life of Juggernaut with just one swing if you're lucky.
10
Even
seconds
past
remaining.
that, like the hero in itself
5
just
seconds
kind of
remaining.
beats Juggernaut in this meta. The fact that his laning phase is greater with the Warcry and the stun, he's able to
Reserve
set up
time.
and catch with his supports the offlane hero.
Mhm.
He's able to flash farm jungle and ancients with just his skill set. His tempo setting ability with this farming capability from his cleave just kind of makes sure that the Juggernaut has to go. There are two ways to go for the Juggernaut, right? Either you go for the Battle Fury and you know that you're going to be delayed and you try to drag out the game,
Yeah.
and then you try and out-farm him in the mid-game. Or you go for the early game build, which is sort of Yasha Diffusal, and try and fight the supports and try and play aggressive early. But against Kunkka Bat Witch Doctor, it's going to be so hard with the amount of stuns and disables to actually go for that early game pressure.
Should look from both teams. Like there are so many stuns and disables. Half of the start of the fight is just going to be people trying to walk around the spy carapace, get away from all the other stuns which are flying out there. The
10
downside for
seconds
EHOME.X is
remaining.
Nyx Assassin should have a field day. Because he knows, like, Spy Carapace, there's so
seconds
many
remaining.
different abilities that are going to hit him. He should stun everybody. Like, everybody.
Reserve
Witch Doctor's actually
time.
going to have a nightmare of a time trying to get his ulti off. He must wait for Nyx Assassin to show himself before he can go for his ultimate.
What's the mid hero?
For both teams? Because they've both got a question
Radiant
mark.
team ban.
I guess a Templar Assassin.
I mean, it could be Legion mid again.
Radiant team
Yeah, you
pick.
could run Legion mid, but if you're going to run Legion mid, then eHome could almost get away with running like a Witch Doctor's Vendor in the mid lane, like actually run a melee core of their own. I don't think they really need to have, like, they've already got a whole bunch of teamfight elements.
10
They've got
seconds
push,
remaining.
they've got pick off. The only thing I look for is a bit
5
more
seconds
sustained
remaining.
push. Witch Doctor is there primarily like only heal.
Actually, if they have an Invoker player on EHOME.X, I'd go with
Reserve
Invoker.
time.
Yeah, he could work nicely. Witch Doctor and Kunk is going to cause a nightmare when they rotate. I still want to see where that Legion ends up, though. Like, if she is a mid, if that is a Nyx off, where do you slot your supports in for LYG?
Yeah, it's an interesting question, isn't it? What are they lacking? They've got plenty of physical and magic burst damage. They've got plenty of stuns. Like, the one thing that they don't have outside of press the attack, and I guess they've got a healing ward as well. They've got
Yeah,
some,
they've got
sustained
sustain.
heal
Like
and
both
pushing
teams have
as
actually
well.
ticked most of the boxes you need.
They've got tower hitters. They've got pick-off heroes. This is a well-rounded four-hero draft from both teams.
The only thing you could ask for is more lane security. I think that's probably the only thing you could look for right now with the last pick.
I'd be happy in a 4v4 with these drafts, honestly.
Yeah.
Who needs the fifth hero? Right, guy, you don't need to play. We'll play 4v4.
Yep. The only thing I'd probably say is, well, even the Vision game. Oh, there's your Invoker.
Dire team pick.
Like, the Vision game from LYG isn't as strong as EHOME.X, primarily just because of Firefly. That ability is just still so good. But you do have Nyx with Vendetta, so you can look around that way.
10 seconds remaining.
I think I preferably want a range support.
5 seconds remaining.
I'm wondering about Disruptor.
Reserve time.
Maybe it's a bit slow with the Lion, though.
Yeah, you kind of... What about a Keeper of the Light?
Can you get away with a hero that follows Kunkka around? I think the Earth Spirit ban was very good in that kind of situation. If this was a Russian team, I'd say Spirit Breaker. Bounty Hunter doesn't really fit in anymore, especially when you've got a Nyx Assassin
10
already on the
seconds
team.
remaining.
I don't know, Sand King or Night Stalker
5
or
seconds
even a
remaining.
4-roll axe could be pretty cool. Oh, and Undying. Sick. I like that.
Well,
I
that
really like
brings
it.
that brings team fight.
I
That
don't think
brings
about
a
that
lot
hero.
of team fight.
I'm thinking about these 4-rolls sort of roaming, irritating heroes that can kind of trace the Kunkka around and secure lanes, and Undying just didn't cross my mind.
With the Undying, the laning options actually open up so much more for LYG, because now they can push Legion, Juggernaut, and Undying down to the bot lane and let the Nyx Assassin have the one-on-one with the Batrider. Which, for the Nyx, actually,
I think
he counters him later on. I don't know if you really want it that early on.
No, you either want the Juggernaut or the Legion against the Bat, because both of them have ways to deal with Napalm. You can either Blade Fury or Purge off with the Press the Attack. So it's going to be one of those two against the Bat. And I think Undying does just try and secure mid and safe lane and like rotate between the two, control top rune, and follow the Kunkka around maybe.
You would want him to get aggressive?
Not straight away. It depends. It depends what they really want to do, because I don't know if they can apply that much pressure from the get-go. Because who's
like when you get some levels, it's probably going to like make more of a difference.
Because that's the thing, right? Who's he going to apply pressure with? The Nyx? Nyx Undying against Kunkka, Witch Doctor, Sven? It's going to be irritating, I guess. Maybe stop the Sven from like free farming for the first minute or so.
Okay, we're going to be on Gareth's camera for the... Oh, wait, am I... No, I'm good now. I'm good now. For the first couple of seconds, I just wasn't moving at all. I literally sat there and paused.
Yo, Boots first Juggernaut.
Is this like MMY style?
Lanham style, maybe?
Yeah, it was Lanham that did that? Yeah, it was Lanham.
Was it TI3?
Yeah. At TI4, I thought we had MMY do it at TI4.
We had someone else do it at TI4 for sure. I just always found it funny that Lanham did it one game and then all the Westerners tried to copy him and they just couldn't do it.
It failed. It's like we don't understand the timing of it, but that was because like when you ran the Juggernaut's boots first, you were stacking in the jungle and he would farm with the Blade Fury, and then would rotate into middle lane, then attack with Blade Fury, and they couldn't run away in time. All right, I'm gonna actually DC Reese. So, Mr. Sasha, can we jump perspectives? Thank you.
No. Cannot.
So you're our cameraman. Don't miss first blood, Gareth.
Oh.
It's a lot smoother on your screen at the moment.
Yeah, the pressure's on, man. So Undying starts with a lot of regen, and this might play into what you kind of wanted, the aggressive Undying with the Nyx Assassin on this bottom lane.
Mm-hmm.
Have that aggressive dual lane. And it's going to be... It would be irritating. It would be annoying if there was a defensive tri-lane, but they've moved the Batrider down here very intelligently while they have the aggressive tri-lane up at top. Yeah,
it feels more like a dodge from EHOME.X, but this is the lane security you kind of wanted to work towards. See if my game settles down, as I realize I'm the one who controls the sound, right?
Yeah, I was just about to say, it's kind of uncanny not being able to hear a single game sound while I'm watching creeps get hit and all that stuff. And this is also, Undying TP is up here. It's like an impossible lane for the Dire if they kept it in that 3v2 scenario. The fact that they just cannot deal with this, and they're actually still playing very aggressively here on the spec.
There goes your Blade Fury. The stuns, what have they got for the control? As, well, hello game sounds. Sunstrike's pretty much on target onto the Lion. So who actually got the first blood there? It was the Juggernaut. The Invoker followed up. And that's going to be... That's going to be the first battle. Yeah, that's really loud. Thanks, Ben. Yeah, we're good now, man. I think we're good now.
That shouldn't happen. That really shouldn't happen. The Radiant team weren't in position really to try and stop that initiation onto the Sven, but in the same sort of vein, the Sven should have been able to get away from the Juggernaut. He should have been able to move himself back into the jungle, salve up. It was just one of those panic moments where you realize, hang on a second, they've rotated one up, and they're going to get the kill on us. So they switch their lanes around, trying to make this Undying, buy TPs and waste his time moving around the map as much as possible. But it does give a good start to the Invoker. That Sunstrike, getting him a nice amount of gold. He's against the Legion Commander, though, with a poor man's shield.
And a Legion Commander who finally gets farm at the start of a game. What a beautiful world to be in if you're a Legion. All right.
Toby's having serious issues.
According to China, I'm not even logged onto Steam.
What a tragedy.
I was watching the game perfectly. It was fantastic.
But you look at this, Undying it's one hero moving around. The Radiant are trying to force one Undying to move from lane to lane, and he's happy with this. That's literally his role. His role is to move from lane to lane and spam decay and all this crap onto people. Yep. While The two supports from the
that
Radiant.
top lane, the spin's going off. Witch Doctor's trying to cause a little bit of space to happen, but not really going to do its work. Not when you've got the Firefly right on top of the retreating Kunkka. So it's a 1-for-1 trade-off. Maybe a little bit more as Juggernaut went in for one little swing, but no, he's fine. He's safe. Have the stick charges up his sleeve, so he's now away and home.
Yeah, two supports from the Radiant. They've got a lot of work to do following this Undying around. I think this is the reason why I wanted that kind of roaming 4-roll, right? Is because the Radiant have to address it. They have to make sure that the 4-roll hero doesn't get his his money's worth out of these lanes. Are we on your camera now?
Yeah, I think we're on mine at the moment. As, well, they got the Maledict off. They could just hold the Nyx Assassin there long enough. It isn't a high-level Maledict.
Oh, Sunstrike!
Oh, it hit him!
Got him!
It hit him at the back lines. So the Nyx Assassin will go down. So Invoker gets another little extra freebie. Kind of needs it when the top 3 CSs belong to LYG. But this is progression for an Invoker.
Dire's
Probably
middle
scarier
tower
than
is
anything
under
else.
attack.
Just an Invoker having a decent start.
Very important for the Radiant, though, that the next 5-6 minutes go very smoothly for them. They need to stack jungle. They need to get the Sven into his Helm of the Dominator, stack Ancients, because his farm is paramount to them winning the game.
It's pitiful. It's pitiful right now. That's what that is. He needs so much more. That's why I think they were really trying to force the fight on bottom lane, but even just a straight up fight's not going to do enough. The Torrent going to miss. The Undying turns around, gets a double decay. The stun will be there. They pull him back with the X marks, but the double stun from Nyx Assassin. Space created. The Sunstrike off the mark. But they're looking for more. The Torrent, it will connect over for the Nyx Assassin. He does have his spike up. That's why he lets it go. And he'll be back underneath his own tier 1 tower. So the Undying will drop.
If only they'd kept that Sunstrike, they could have gone in for the Nyx as well. Mango's available on the Sven for another stun.
It's just maybe a little bit of lack of faith that they better pick up both of them, so they just focused on killing off the one.
Yeah, they have to secure 1 kill at the very least. It's just unfortunate. That's the way things went.
Yep.
But yeah, they desperately need to get this Sven up and running as quickly as possible. You know, we often talk about the way Alchemist and Anti-Mage used to work. You know, they need to be sort of 3-4k ahead of their opponent or their counterpart by sort of 13-14 minute mark. But the way that Sven is, he needs to be 5-6k ahead.
Yep.
He needs to be farming these Ancients. He needs to be absolutely racing away from the Juggernaut. But at this stage, it's just not happening.
Well, LYG. I want to see the progression of items on the Legion. I want to see what happens with this mid. Like if they go for that roaming early blink kind of style. Like we saw the last Legion going for this phase boot kind of build, and everything just worked because the duels happened and were victorious every time. But now you've got your bottle, you've got your boots, the PMS, you've got really decent CS. Rotation down to the Sven has to happen probably very soon to stop that kind of progression you're talking about. Like a safe lane Sven who goes for an Iron Talon, you know things are wrong at this point. Spy Carapace trying to save the Nyx Assassin, Sunstrike pretty much on the money. Decay and Soul Rip. Yes, there's the Soul Rip coming in. Allowing the Nyx to move down the hill, but even Invoker's rotated for this one. Press the attack. The Legion's going to be there for him. And Legion running forward. She's got duel available. Does she have enough damage to get through the Kunkka with the help of the Undying? Paralyzing Cast can make it difficult. So no duel win, but you will find that kill. Stormbolt holding the Legion in position. At the same time, they must retreat now, EHOME.X. There's only 31 HP, and that Undying's decay is more than enough damage to kill off the Witch Doctor.
8 stacks of decay on the Undying after that fight. It's just like a 4v4 brawl in the jungle. Everyone turns up. Even the Lion makes his way down, but unfortunately couldn't get into sort of XP range or gold range or anything before people had already died. And in the meantime, you've got this Juggernaut up a top lane who does not care about Batrider too much. Got 10 stick charges, he's got Blade Fury.
He's got the Omni Slash. He wants Batrider to engage so we can, like, if he can get the Blade Fury damage out, he can find a solo pick-off. That's the real dream for the Juggernaut. The Batrider still found a lot of CS on the top lane. Like up to level 7, that drum's going to be up pretty quickly.
But the trade-off is, you know, the Nyx Assassin is farming to the same extent, if not more.
And those early Arcane boots, it's so easy for Nyx Assassin just to leave that bottom lane.
Oh,
you want to get experience into someone like a Lion, get that early level 6 up, maybe even the money for a Blink Dagger, you just give him the bottom lane.
Click on the Sven. This is not what you want to happen.
Yeah, an Iron Talon Sven in the jungle.
I mean, yeah, it's a level 6 Sven at 7.5 minutes with Iron Talon and Raindrops, using his ultimate for a 2-stack of neutrals.
Well, he knows he's got to kill it off quickly or else he's going to die.
No! Can someone just question mark him, please? Just all chat question mark. That is... Oh, okay. It's fine, Toby. He'll recover. It's okay. It's a Sven. He'll just farm Ancients for 20 minutes.
Yeah, because Sven plays really well from behind.
For sure, dude.
When he's got no item which allows him to create stacks.
Yeah.
Sven's going to be fantastic. I think EHOME.X are in a world of hurt coming their way. Yeah, the Legion Commander is going to move herself into the jungle for a moment. She's 600 gold up so far, so the Blink Dagger can be on the way. The next Assassin starts his first rotations. So even if Sven does want to go into the jungle, more than likely, any stack they create is going to be scouted. And it's a team that actually relies so heavily on utilizing their jungle. Like you're running a Batrider, he needs to be able to flash farm.
Invoker.
You've got Invoker who needs to be able to Hand of Midas down everything whenever he possibly can, and also farm up inside his own jungle.
Great flame
At
break.
this mid, you're going to kill off the Lion. The Sunstrike will do its work. Omni Slash into a spin. Could be a revenge kill onto the Batrider if he doesn't get to the cliff in time, which he will. And TP out. A lot of support arriving.
Great play by the Batrider there, honestly. Excellent flame break, pushes him into the lasso range, and then gets away by fire flying over the trees.
It's really good space creation.
And more importantly, they got the kill on the Invoker, right? So he's now very close to his Hand of Midas. 9 minutes in, with all these kind of small incremental items, we rarely see the Null, Windlace, Raindrop, and Basilius before Midas, but he decided to go for as much as he possibly can. Just to make sure.
Stuns. They're going to start up the duel, and Sven. Well, you know, I was actually going to praise before this happened how good it is that you can have EHOME.X just as 4, group up in the mid, you force movements out from LYG where they brought all 5 players into the mid lane, so Sven will have time to play catch-up, to get to a major item.
And then he dies.
And then he dies, but then he also buys treads, and he still has that Iron Talon. So, nowhere near Helmet the Dominator. And I don't even think that's even the way to go now. I don't think he's going to get enough money to to use that Dominator to get a whole bunch of stacks.
We can already see that the Kunkka's been stacking for him over towards the Ancients. They've built up a decent amount there.
Is this actually the time when you say to a Sven, like, you need to get something else just lets you fight earlier? Do you even go like an armlet? Yeah, that's where my mind's going.
I was considering the same thing as well. I'm not even sure that's going to be enough for you. You might even consider trying to get into the Blink Dagger if you can. It's a weird spot, right? Because the natural progression is Helmet the Dominator, into Treads, into Echo Saber, then into Blink.
Yes.
And you get these by sort of 18 to 20 minutes, and you're like, right, I'm sorted. This is all I need. I can go and fight now. I can just kill people. But in this situation, it's 10 minutes in and he has none of these components apart from the treads.
Maybe he just goes back that, like, you get a casual Morbid Mask and you still get your Echo Saber.
I still think the Morbid Mask would be a waste of money even.
But he can't farm. He has no sustain in fights at the moment. That's his biggest problem. He's not going to rely on the heal from a Witch Doctor to keep him up.
Wrap around on top.
Well, they find the kill with the Finger of Death, so say goodbye to your Batrider. But that needs to happen. Like, Lion and Nyx, like, they are a great gang squad for LYG.
You take a look at the Juggernaut's item build, right? And this gang squad is going to be supplemented so well by the early game build, and it kind of goes back to what I was talking about with his 2 choices. Do you delay the game and try to go for the Battle Fury and be behind, or do you play aggressively?
They're coming in.
And go for that Yasha Diffusal build.
We start to try and throw out the Paralyzing Cast and cause some issues, but now I think he's the one in trouble. That's an Omni-slashing Juggernaut waiting to have a crack at him. The mid tower will be denied. But that's now both your tier 1 tower and mid and bot lane gone. The Radiant jungle is not a safe place to be.
Hand of Midas Nyx.
He's still going for... okay, he's got the helm on this event at the moment.
Of Iron Will, yep.
Yeah, so it could still go to Armlet and it could still be Dom.
I think it's Dominator. If it was Armlet, he would have picked up one of the other components by now. Unless that's what he's doing right now. No, it'll be Dominator.
You sure you want to lock it in?
I mean, he's got 500
for the $32,000 question.
He's got 500 gold. He'd buy Blades of Attack or Gloves of Haste if he wanted Armlet. I mean, there's no reason to hide the fact you're going Armlet. You just need every single little bit of damage, armor, stats you can possibly get at this point. Batrider's very close to Blink Dagger, actually.
Yeah, if he did die on the top lane, he probably would have had it already. Well, definitely would have had it already. Nyx Assassin going for the kill. They are Vendetta up on the hunt. And who are they going to find? And hello, Batrider. So close to your Blink Dagger, bro. And now I think you're about to give some damage over to a Legion Commander, which is exactly what happens. The Torrent, the ship, they're both flying in. Nyx Assassin turns on his Spire Carapace, gets a bit of a revenge stun. The Sunstrike actually able to connect because Legion Commander turned. They try and fight underneath this Tombstone. Do they have the damage? With the Death Ward, it's doing some work, but really, actually, nowhere near enough work. That Legion just tanked through everything, and now the Omni Slash helping out with the Decay, removing the life. Legion being able to press the attack back up into health.
Okay,
and oh boy.
It feels bad when you're a Sven with this little farm, but it feels even worse when you're a Sven walking into a team fight, knowing that there's a clump of heroes and you've got God Strength and that Sunstrike is great!
Boom!
Sick plays, actually.
Got him. The thing is, like, they're gonna have a ward. The last ward they had is this one. It's this one in the river. Invoker is blind in that area, so he may even be able to get a D ward out.
Nice.
Just with that Sunstrike, just because of the level of BS that came with it.
But yeah, it feels bad being underfarmed Sven. It feels even worse when you pop God Strength, walk into a cluster of like 3 or 4 heroes expecting to cleave and slam them, and then realizing, hang on, I need to waste 3, 4 hits on a Tombstone of God Strength. Then he gets hexed. Then he does no damage. Awkward situations, because it just didn't have anyone positioned to actually deal with the Tombstone, and once it's down,
it's the tower trade time. In from the rear, Nyx Assassin was on his way. There's a sentry ward down there. He'll actually trigger his Spike Carapace, but the X, the ship, and the Torrent, everything being thrown. Sunstrike as well. The Invoker will find another kill with that.
5-0-0. This might be the Invoker show.
It may be. But it will be. Like, if he's going to stay in front, like, because he's still got this event at 4,400 net worth. And the top net worth is 7,200, which is the Invoker.
Sven hasn't purchased his Helm of the Dominator.
Okay. Right now I'm also waiting to see everyone die. Wait, what does he have on the courier?
Helm of the Dominator.
Okay, it's a Mortal Mask. Yeah, the Mortal Mask is on the courier. So he does have the Dom.
I wonder why it's interesting. Kind of saved up 1,600 gold and then decided to buy. Maybe he was still considering.
Yeah, maybe it's like what the Blink Dagger, if he could rush to it.
Yeah. Because they did just get a number of kills.
I think he also just has that other problem in his mind. Like, okay, I've lost my talents protecting the jungle. Like, there's no way we're keeping observer wards up right now around that area. In fact, most of the wards they commit is to their ancients. They're trying to protect their ancients instead. But they're going to Saturday to do the stack. And the really sad thing for him is there a ward blocking? No, there's not. Just a dire sentry in the neighborhood. But LYG may not even care anymore. If they're in a really strong position, they could just start their pushing. The Juggernaut is rapidly approaching its Diffuser Blade. The Legion's already got the armlet this time. Not with the Phase Boots, it is with the Treads. And if things keep going this way, he can have his jump initiation, or have really whatever the hell he wants. The Midas from the Nyx Assassin will keep his progression going, and all they got to do is just have the game of trades. So Invoker kills the top tier 1 tower. Who cares? You just took a tier 2 tower in the bottom lane with no contest. This opens up Roshan. A double damage rune awaits for them in the bottom river as well. And that may be all the excuse they really need to go in for Roshan.
No real reason to not go in there. Not as though they're against a Tide or a...
The Sunstrike scouts it out. It also sees the double damage rune in the Legion Commander.
I don't think they can get there in time.
Well, with a Blink Dagger on a Batrider, at least they got a chance to contest it. The damage on a Roshan is decent, but it's not strong enough yet. And there's no Vendetta on the Nyx Assassin. The issue that I think they're going to have is actually the Tombstone.
Yeah. Especially once it gets placed up on high ground, it becomes an absolute nuisance.
Oh, the snipe!
But Invoker's not at that stage yet where he can sort of really join team fights. He's still in that split push farm AFK mode. You know, he'll join in with a couple of Sunstrikes here and there. He might join a skirmish if he's nearby. But at this point, he's kind of hard committed with the drums, Bassi, Boots of Travel to really heavily split push and make sure that he gets all the farm he needs.
Yep.
Sven will pick up the scraps sort of in the jungle and by the Ancients, and maybe join the rest of his team for the fights. But Sven's kind of area of farming is that little box there between Ancients and a few jungle camps, while Invoker's going to be pushing all these other side lanes. It's just a matter of not getting picked off, which against Nyx Assassin isn't that easy.
With a Blink Dagger and a Legion Commander, it will be. Legion, yeah, there it is. Wait, he just sell his bottle? He just sold his bottle to carry a TP scroll.
Okay.
But he has the Blink and Duel available. The problem is he doesn't have the rest of his team here. So he walks in, reveals that he has a Blink Dagger. There was no pings that came out for it. And they're going to 5-man smoke around. Okay, so maybe the overwhelming odds was part of a plan. Push the lane down so then they can move into the Ancient area. Realizing this Ven has to be farming here. They just can't walk too close. That Observer on the hillside is going to scout it out pretty quickly. The Kunkka. Oh, they scout him out. They start the duel. It's over on the Witch Doctor, so that's a nice, quick, and easy kill. The duel winner is there. The boat will cause a couple of problems, but the rest of EHOME.X are trying to retreat out of the top lane, and that's exactly where the Nyx is able to rotate over for. They get the initial stun, keep the attack going. Omni slashing around, bounces back to the creep wave. The torrent is huge, but the Spike Carapace, it slowed down the Kunkka. The last two will come onto the Legion Commander, press the attack, gave him a little bit of extra life, but they pull him back into the Sunstrike. Where's the life?
Toggle?
Where's the Soul Rip? It's not there. The Toggle will do the work, and the Healing Ward's helping him out as well. So they can't even get the Legion when they drag him as close as they can to the Tier 3 towers.
This is the problem. You cannot defend the towers with the team you've got, especially against this dire side who just, you know, they run towards you. There's nothing to stop them.
Are they going to go again? Like, it's 19 minutes in. They can chip the tower out. But the
Invoker.
Legion Commander has the Blink and Duel back up again. So the stuns arrive, the paralyzing cast causing some issues. Do they have the damage? Finger of Death helps out. Sven's so low and he will drop. They've lost two of them. The stun strike and ship. Mystery's going to fall. The Undying's not in a healthy position. But then again, he's just going to keep on decaying. Yep, you can fight inside Firefly. Well, no, you can't actually. That's the reason why Batrider gets a double kill. The Agency Mortar will trigger. But really, was this worth the cost? An extra stun onto the Kunkka, Legion.
Oh, Legion can 1v3 them here if they don't kite correctly.
Oh, here comes the X-Torrent once again. Push him up and towards the air. He's still got the armor to go, but he's locked inside the Ice Wall. Tries to get out of range of the Sunstrike, can't do it.
There we go.
The Invoker will control him perfectly.
I would love to say great defense by EHOME.X. I would love to. But that was some very not good initiation from the dire side. If you're chasing a Batrider through trees with no vision into fog and he's got Firefly down with two of your most important heroes, you have some serious problems. Because Invoker just swept in from the right-hand side, found a Sunstrike kill on one, picked off another, and was just cleaning through house. You don't care if you lose a couple of small pesky little heroes from your team. You are Invoker. You are the boss this game, and you are the one that has to carry over and through it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, with that fight, how does the graph change? We actually pushed from about a 3k advantage for LYG. EHOME was actually holding the experience advantage the entire time. They've got the 3k lead. The pickoffs like this... Was that Kunkka actually just gargling?
Yes. He was drowning.
Awesome. Blink, lasso, they find the opening, but then press the attack into an Omni Slash. Opening has been removed. Oh, maybe it was a little bit... Some forceps were pushed in there and the opening was made bigger from LYG. Maybe a little bit of overconfidence from EHOME.X. Jumping in with the Batrider, you think you've got the opportunity, but...
Trying to buy time for this top lane to push in.
Well, Sven just committed God's strength to push a tier 2 tower.
Invoker was there as well.
While LYG is now, like, waiting to attack into your base. They may wait out a little bit longer, and 500 gold, the Nyx Assassin will have his Aghanim Scepter. So life's going to get even harder. You can't keep Vision up because the gem over on the Lion. He's got everything he wants. Tranquils and Blink Dagger is all you really want as a Lion anyway.
He's even got a little gem.
Yep. That's why they can't keep their Vision up.
And the gem used to belong to Kunkka.
Thief. Thief!
Naughty lion.
Once he could finally get the tome out, it's going to like approach his level 2 ultimate as well.
Now you can see the net is closing though. Dire Observer wards being placed on these lanes very aggressively. Great for watching smoke movements out, which desperate teams are very likely to try and utilize to get some kind of foothold back in the game. I see Invoker Aghanims though, and this is when he starts to become a real hero.
At the same time, Legion now finishes up a Blade Mail, so Invoker, you can throw everything you want. Legion's probably going to tank it and return most of it. Like, it's already hard enough, like, killing off the Legion, but if you're getting to a point where you're saying, I can't take the Legion right now, she's going to freely walk and do whatever the hell she wants. And this event still is nowhere, like, it's funny, like, the Invoker's worked hard for all of his farm. Like, he's running his Hand of Midas, but he's got 7 kills, 2 assists, still managed to find 177 CS. The Sven, like, he seems to have everyone else in his team working towards getting him farm, but he keeps losing it. He's 0 for 5 on a Sven at 151 CS. Like, everyone's sacrificing themselves for the Sven apart from the Invoker. And rightly so, the Invoker's still about 4 grand in front of the Juggernaut.
That's the situation they found themselves in, though, with this Undying causing so many issues. The game is far from over, though.
Yeah, there's still a lot of pickup opportunities for EHOME.X. If the Sven can keep farming like this once he gets his BKB and gets a damage dealing item, then LYG will have to give him a lot more respect.
And speaking of BKB, the Dire team aren't really sort of making their way towards them.
They don't really need them. Like, it's a lineup which can break free and sustain a lot more than EHOME can dish out damage. They can just wait out the BKBs.
They've even got sort of abilities that act as pseudo BKBs, right? Like the Spike Carapace, the Press the Attack, the Blade Fury is a huge one.
Yep.
They've got ways to sort of weasel themselves out of team fights without having to pop a lot of money onto one of those big items.
Well, they smoke up again. LYG waiting for someone to come forward. The blink forward. Oh, the blink away. Invoker will be able to get into Invis. Lion's a little bit too far out, so they don't have his gem to reveal the Ghost Walking Invoker. But I don't think Legion was expecting himself to be blinking right on top of the Invoker. Even with the Observer Ward there, he didn't have proper vision.
Sven? He's realized his mistake. He might still be dead, though.
Nyx will need to hit that stun. If he doesn't hit the stun, then the Sven's back.
Nah, the rest of the team was too far away anyway.
Oh, you're perfectly right with this then. Like, Sven's will survive. You burn Tombstone as well as the Undying ulti.
And your Invoker TP top 20 seconds ago to split push as well, farming enemy jungle at the same time.
Yeah, you know there's no push coming through the bottom lane now. Like, without that pick off, LYG won't commit, so the Juggernaut has to TP up and defend.
Good stalling tactics.
Do we really want to call it a tactic where Sven almost gets himself killed? Like, if it was any other hero that rotated down that wasn't the Undying on the front, I think he was dead.
Maybe it was planned. maybe Sven planned it. He was like, right, I'm going to go bottom, I'm going to farm one creep, I'm going to bait them down here, I'm going to run away, and I'm going to force them to use Tombstone, and you never know. Just very confident in his capabilities, even though he's died 5 times. He's got his BKB now as well, so he can't die anymore.
That's what the one creep bought him.
Yeah. mission successful. Tactic successful.
See, you know how what we do with casting, where we're very optimistic.
Yeah.
This is very, very optimistic.
I don't think so.
Of a reason.
I think Sven is a very intelligent player. He just had a really rough game. I like this move though. Not from the Radiant, from the Dire. Yeah.
Dire's coming down. They put the Nyx Assassin in. He'll burrow up instantly. Gets a stun over on this Sven, who's a long way out. Now the Tombstone. Sunstrike's not going to help him out at all. It's off target. And, well, with the Death Ward, however, that's a really good spot for the Witch Doctor. But where's your damage? They have to pull the Legion back at range of it, but the Death Ward's already worn off. And Legion Commander, he couldn't get the toggle off in time. Then now you've got a Batrider stranded away. Undying was at least also stranded. So it's a 2-for-2 trade-off. Invoker and Conqueror have had enough. They're TPing out of this mess. But a 2-for-2 trade-off, you take out the Legion, that's worth it for EHOME. Especially if they can see into the pit in just a second and realize that Roshan's up, but they're too far away.
Ooh. So I was going to say, for the Dire side, that's a huge win. The fact that Roshan is so close to respawning, but no one's going in there to check it.
without... Oh, actually, they could do it with just the Juggernaut.
Yeah. It's just healing ward and damage. They're going to go in now, right? Blink in Lion. Oh, Nyx walks. No. Oh, please.
It's kind of hilarious. Where did all that damage come from? Like, that's a level 1 death ward. There was something else that must have been hitting him that I didn't see it. Meteor.
Yeah.
All right.
And Invoker threw a bunch of spells down from inside the pit over the ramp, or over the ledge anyway. And there was Firefly, there was Meteor, there was Death Ward. I didn't see where the boat and Torrent landed, though.
I think that was focused on the Undying outside. That was the other small little duel that was happening on the back lines. Well, in they come. Sunstrike. Going to hit pretty heavily into the Juggernaut. You may have to commit that. Yeah, he does. The healing ward. Puts it on the cliff side for some interesting reason.
Make sure it just does not get picked off.
Just means if that fight turns to the side, you won't have really an option to work with.
Look where the Nyx is, though.
Yeah. They got double Radiant Observer wards. Nice lance through. They already find the Lion. Now in comes the Juggernaut. Instantly picked up. He's got his Omni Slash available, but spins away to safety. The stun press the attack, pulls him out of it, and now the Omni Slash. The Sven, he's just so tanky. They're going to actually get a huge double stun. The Nyx is doing the work from all the way inside the pit. Legion Commander tried to just manhandle the Sven. What he ended up doing was just holding him into the perfect position while the rest of EHOME's teammates were getting stunned up. And this all started off with a pick-off on a Lion. Oh, they may find another one.
The Lion
Diffuser Blade, Conky, you can't go back into this.
Dude. The Lion who bought back, TP'd bottom, and then got soloed by the Invoker again. That poor Lion. But he did make sure that the Invoker was kind of...
Oh!
Hello.
The Observer Ward. They're everywhere around the pit.
It's the Invoker show.
They've actually made, like... Can it zoom out far enough? Can it zoom out far enough? I'm gonna... Yes, only barely. We have the Bermuda Triangle right now around the pit in Observer Ward positioning.
Very nice.
Maximum range.
Max power. Yeah, the Invoker had to... kind of had to deal with a Lion who bought back and TP down towards bottom just to make sure that it doesn't blink in and cause any more havoc, but it also drew his attention away from the rest of the team. So Invoker is becoming, godlike and beyond godlike. Sure, it's great, it pads out your stats, but if he's not in the actual battle winning the team fight, it's just a Lion kill in the end. But Roshan still stands, and I guess the skirmish will continue around the Roche pit and make sure neither team gets that Aegis to the Immortal. Things are starting to look a little bit ropey here, though, for LYG. Yeah. Especially when your Juggernaut thinks he's strong enough to blink into the middle of 4 heroes, then spins and runs away.
Well, his timing was also terrible because he didn't have any vision to work with. Like, you blink in like that, but all the vision was there for EHOME. Like, they were the ones that just won on that, and he jumped into the middle of a tornado. If the Juggernaut knew about that, he never would have gone in. At that time, he would have waited for it to pass. Well, Radiant uses their scan, instantly pings out the fact the Dire are there. Because they lost their Observer Ward, but that kind of already flags the fact that they're there.
Invoker's going to win the next team fight, like single-handedly.
I'm interested to see if he can. Tornado flies up, doesn't hit anybody. EHOME.X going to give him a little bit of breathing room.
He's now at like one of his strongest levels. He's level 19, it's 31 minutes in, he's got plenty of points in Wex. So he's got the whole EMP, Tornado, Meteor, Deafening Blast, everything combination. But one of the bigger things is Ice Wall. And Ice Wall was always like a really underappreciated spell. Very rarely used in kind of the rotations of spells that Invokers used to use. It was always very focused on, Forge Spritz, Cold Snap. You've got the Tornado Meteor, Tornado EMP. But Ice Wall against, in particular, melee carries like the Legion, like the Juggernaut, and melee space creators or melee sort of team fighting heroes like the Nyx and Undying who want to be mobile within the team fight. Mm-hmm. They're not macro mobile, they're micro mobile. They're like small movements within team fight rather than big movements across the map or across bigger areas. Ice Wall just completely screws them up. Make sure they can't get these big decays down and you get all of this damage out from the Sven.
Nyx thinks he's safe here. But there's been nothing but pings coming out for the Witch Doctor. They blink up, they lasso him down. The Spy Carapace is stuns on 2. The Batrunner can't find the damage just yet. Now the Death Ward will go to work. And the Sven looking for the cleave damage. Bounces a little bit out to the Undying.
Oh, don't let him get the haste. They still fix it.
Oh, it's a double kill for the Sven. 3 down for LYG. EHOME take the fight convincingly.
And they'll get Roshan.
Yep. And you weren't kidding when you said Invoker would win the next fight, but at the same time, having that vision, like LYG put down 2 observer wards, but didn't plant a single sentry. So EHOME still actually had a vision advantage around that pit.
There you go, rustled. And now you look at the map and you see outer towers. Just free gold for EHOME.X at this point. Tier 2 bot, Tier 2 mid. Aegis goes over on the Invoker. With 5.3k in the bank, you can start thinking about his Octarine or his Refresher.
Sven was able to afford a Blink Dagger off that fight. Like, he's actually got 3 kills now for his 7 deaths. But with the Blink Dagger and the BKB and Echo Saber, he's finally bringing some good damage at the right points to the team fights too. And with having another 1,400 gold up his sleeve, he can finally get rid of that bloody Iron Talon and pick up Chrysalis into Daedalus. Do some real work.
Octarine? Okay.
Yes.
I was wondering, an Invoker sold his Midas, so he's going to commit hard for an item. Next one is likely the Refresher, but he could consider Hex as well as a good alternative. Just to have that single target lockdown against the Juggernaut in particular.
Looks like LYG are grouping up again. Have we got smoke on anybody at the moment? Nope. Yes. Nyx Assassin, he's got one up his sleeve.
This is where things start to get a little bit messy when you have Lion and Undying as your 2 supports for the Dire team. Undying, of course, a very good early game. Applies a lot of pressure, and Tombstone, since the change, has seen a little bit of a rise in potency in the late game since it's hits rather than actual HP. So you still need the same amount of hits from Sven and Invoker to actually take it down. But he just doesn't give you, hard lockdown. He doesn't give you a big teamfight ultimate. It's like throw Tombstone and hope for the best. If the enemy team can see the Tombstone and can focus it, then a lot of his teamfight prowess has actually gone down the drain, and they can move on to focus other targets. So he's not a damage sink. He doesn't offer you a big AoE ultimate. He's kind of a one-and-done kind of guy. While the Juggernaut's build, again, same story. We talked about this during the draft, is he's got 2 roads to go down. It's early game power,
yep,
or he secures mid to late game. And he's gone for this early game power build. Now he's trying to go back into the Butterfly to try and mitigate the holes in his build. But
it just seems a little too late for it to be effective.
It might just be.
What they might have is just a little bit of luck, but the Radiant, they scanned. They saw the Nyx Assassin moving forward. The Invoker will jump in. His BKB goes off. Nyx Assassin trying to be aggressive. The stun. Batrider's at least locked in. The Omni Slash on the back lines is able to find the Conquer, but that's the only thing you really bring down. The Invoker is still causing you issues. As the Batrider jumps away, that Tombstone finally brought down as well. They want to go for more. The Blink's off cooldown. The Stormbolt, but it's the Ice Wall holding the Undying in position. It's the Gem of True Sight, the Batrider. That means he can't hide underneath that Glimmer Cape of his. So the BKBs get expended. The Invoker is getting that linchpin of the team fight.
I don't know what his name is, but I'm pretty sure this Invoker has single-handedly won the game here for EHOME.X.
That's Chinese for win.
Oh.
Yeah, but they're going to take out this mid-Rax with... even if they come up, you don't have your Omni Slash, you don't have your Finger of Death.
You don't have your Legion Commander.
No, she bought a Desolator just before that fight began. That's why her buyback isn't available at the moment. In fact, the only buyback available is the Juggernaut, who runs in, attacks a little bit. He's already down to 1 Diffusal Blade charge, so he's only got that for the fight, unless he wants to spend his cash and get another charge up, but then no buyback. But then again, actually, what does that even do? Like, you got BKBs on now all 3 cores of EHOME.X. Like, your Diffusal Blade charge isn't going to do anywhere near enough, so it's not even worth the investment.
And Invoker has gone from purchasing Octarine core, what, 2.5 minutes ago?
Yep.
So again, having about 6,000 gold. Daedalus done on the Sven, so he can just destroy heroes like the Juggernaut or the Lion.
But Aegis has another, like, 50 seconds or so. So once he's done that, like, you could be looking at Scythe, you could be looking at Refresher.
Yeah. I don't think there's a best item out of those 2. I think I'd...
Oh, the pick. It's big. Juggernaut's gone. He tried to free him with press the attack, but now Legion Commander puts himself in a world of hurt. The Ice Wall's down. There's nowhere to run, and they just call it. GG, well played. EHOME.X They did one pick off to put the final nail in the coffin, and LYG knew that, understood that, and they accept their fate to drop out in the final game. They will not be attending the LAN event. Instead, we're going to have the epic name of eHOME. Even if it is EHOME.X, I mean, eHOME will be attending our LAN event of the ROG Masters.
It ends with one pick-off and another pick-off, you know, on the Juggernaut and the Legion Commander, but it was a story of one pick-off after the other. The Invoker was just landing Sunstrikes all day long.
Yep.
The setup from the Conker non-stop with that X mark into Torrent. The Sven was kind of getting picked off and drawing all the attention onto him, like, come and kill me, leave the Invoker alone. It's fine, he's not a hero, just let him do his own business. But it was just non-stop Invoker making, like you said, Invoker worked hard for his farm, he made space for himself, while the rest of the team was kind of crowded around the Sven, making sure that Ancients and Jungle and everything was secured for him.
Well, let's look at the stats right now, because we'll see just how the Invoker was going to progress forward. That yellow line, that is the Invoker. I mean,
he didn't die. He was 13-0-9.
Yeah, he was, like, so if we want to see that, like, let's bring up our scoreboard right now. So there's the Invoker, 13-0-9. Unbelievable amount of damage he pumped out. You actually look at the rest of his team combined, and they have like maybe 5k on him, but there's still 19,000 of the damage was done by him. Like, he did so much work in the fights. Even then, like, I still want to give props to Batrider. Like, his initiations really gave a lot of openings as well. The Sven, I don't think I really want to give that much to him. Apart from that one fight that happened in the around Roshan, when he got a good position, that was the first time he got his Blink Dagger and he got some good cleave damage out. That's the one we lagged up a little bit on the stream for.
He still farmed decently regardless of his deaths, and I think one of the best things to point out is the fact he didn't tilt.
Yeah.
Like, so many other players would be like, oh, for God's sake, not this crap, I'm just dying. Like, you know, you can just...
Behind again, I'm meant to be 4,000 in front of everybody. Why am I... Oh, my life is so hard, I give up.
When you're watching, maybe, you know, Tier 3, Tier 2 competitive games, you can almost feel and see inside the player's brain when they've died 3 or 4 times in quick succession, and you know what they're thinking, because you are thinking the same thing, like, they're so far behind. How do they catch up? There are limited ways for them to catch up, but he stuck at it.
You look at his item progression too. Like, just look at this line right here.
Oh God!
It's like, so what have we got? So around the 4.5 minute mark, he's just like, screw this. I need to get Iron Talent.
Yep.
Like, I'm losing so hard. I need to go into full recovery mode. I get treads. What else have I got? I'll try and survive. Helm of Iron Will. Desperation. All right, now I got a Dominator. Fantastic. I can slowly build up, and he kept building like. I think you were mentioning with the Juggernaut, like how Juggernaut can go for that early game kind of build, or he can go for the late game kind of build. There's moments like, I'm going for late game.
Yeah.
100%. I need to have these big items. Everyone else will create space for me. And it took him so long. Like, his BKB came at 25 minutes. Didn't have any damage, had no positioning. It was pure survivability on this event. And then finally at 32, everything changes around.
But once he gets to Echo Saber, you can see the change in pace, though, right? Because it's like slow, and then it's like 17.5 minutes Echo Saber. Then it's 6 or 7 minutes later, right, BKB. He actually gets some farm, whereas the previous 13 minutes was, oh God, I've got nothing whatsoever.
Yeah, it was a slow grind. It was a slow grind. All right, let's have a look at our final brackets when we're done, because this is actually the end of the ROG Masters qualifiers. Sad times, but don't worry, we have an amazing event over in Malaysia, and I don't think we don't have a list of all the final teams, but if you want that, there's a wonderful website, Gareth, they can visit.
And it's not joindota.com, it's ROG-masters.com. I'm so used to plugging joindota.com, that's the first thing that came to my head. The link is down below.
You can look at both. There's nothing to stop you looking at both. But yeah, you can also enter in for the giveaways, which are there. There's free stuff to get. And for the rare people who are watching our stream today as well, obviously, the less people that enter, the better chance for you. So get yourself in there. And also check out the tournament and the LAN finals. LAN finals. I really want to go to Malaysia.
Same, actually.
I haven't been to Malaysia in so long. Like, it's been like a year and a half to 3.
It's been like
3 years. It's been 3 years since I was in Malaysia.
It's been like 6 years for me, dude. Maybe more.
Good times.
7 years?
Good times to come.
Jeez.
Good times to come. Last time I actually went to a tournament in Malaysia, I actually did it at the same venue we're doing it now.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, in the convention halls. In the middle of KL. That was the last time I was there. And now I'm going back 2 times in the next, 3 months. It's great.
Nice.
Genting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's coming up as well. So good times. Good times to be had by all. Congratulations to EHOME.X. You are our last team to qualify for the LAN finals. And here it is. Our 2 teams from today. EHOME.X defeating LYG. And MaxX took out TOT. The question was asked and they were found wanting. All right. That's it, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you. We'll see you next time. We're going to end the madness now.
I'm going to go and drink some tea.
And I am going to go research teams. And Dota. You know what? I'm going to find MMR. Later, guys.